Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the day after Easter Sunday. It's really early. That's why I'm using a camera light here this morning because sunset hasn't even occurred. And it's drizzly and really, really foggy. There's a fog alert in effect until about 10 a.m. this morning. But here I am with the morning briefing because we've got so much to cover with you all. How about we start with water temperatures? The Long Beach buoy yesterday morning, 51 degrees. My God, somebody's going to catch a salmon out there here pretty soon. That is frigid. And of course, we've been talking to you all year long about these cold water temperatures this year. Maybe that's why our bluefin tuna haven't kicked into gear quite yet. Maybe we're going to see albacore later on. I tell you, the possibilities are endless because of this cool water. We've seen market squid everywhere all winter long, which bodes well for white sea bass and so much more. It's really going to be an interesting year. How about a 300-pound yellowfin tuna on board the Royal Polaris? Tremendous fishing down there. Great halibut fishing for the Pride once again, and lots more. You know what time it is, my friends. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning. All right, I'm going to have to look at my notes here with the light, but I've got to tell you, there are a lot of interesting things going on. Bear with me with this microphone. I know you picks up a lot of the background noise. One more day, we've got our microphone situation all figured out, so hopefully you are having no trouble hearing me. All right, nice fishing going on board the Royal Polaris. Gary Cotter, he hooked a big fish on the kite yesterday on the RP, and man, after about an hour of battling this thing, it came to color. They put 2 gaffs in it. That wasn't enough. They put 3 gaffs in it, 4 gaffs. How about 5 gaffs to get Gary's 303-pound monster on board? An absolutely gorgeous catch. The big fish are definitely coming on the kite. And we saw another fish, Eric Thomas. And it looks like Eric had a 245 yesterday. Sorry about the light here. Nice fish for Eric. Also, John Yamati Sr. took the biggest fly line sardine fish, and his fish was up there at 190 pounds. Beautiful fishing going on the Royal Polaris. They also had some time to go anchor up on the high spot and catch some nice leatherback cabrilla. So they're having a dream trip. Nice weather. It's warm, sunny, 10, 12 knots of breeze down there. And Captain Roy Rose is doing his usual fine work. A dream trip on the Royal Polaris as they just keep getting the job done down below. All right, bluefin tuna, let's talk about it. The Old Glory saw some fish, but it's been very difficult, especially in that, I want to say, day and a half range of San Diego and everywhere else. We just have not been able to make it happen. Spotter playing info keeps coming in, and the majority of fish seem to be down at 150 to 170 miles, and that fish has been cursed with some wicked weather. It's been very windy down in that neck of the woods. Hopefully that wind gets out of the picture here and gives the boys a chance to get back on it. The Polaris Supreme and several other boats have gotten a good piece of that at times. 41 nice bluefin tuna on board the Supreme, but that's a couple weeks ago now. Those fish were up over 200 pounds, a lot of it up over 100 pounds, so really nice grade of fish. Mixed with it some 40-pound stuff in addition, biting the knife jigs, 250 to 400 grams, and also they had one stop or one day where they had 9 bluefin tuna in the daytime. However, it is mostly a nighttime bite. Hopefully it's going to get on the chew. I don't think it's anywhere near time. Some guys, I see them pushing the panic button already. Look, guys, we've got very cool water so far this year. We have the effects of a La Nina pushing down on us, and while the water is warm way down there at Peru with that El Nino brewing, it's still a ways away from affecting us up here in this neck of the woods. Might be late summer before we start to feel the El Nino, which will bring us warm water. So we are in for a really exciting year because it's hard to gauge what's going to happen. You're certainly not going to have Dorado show up when you have 51-degree water at the Long Beach buoy, but this is all temporary. Waters are going to warm. How much will be determined as the season plays out, and as the temperatures change, so do the little fishies. That's why I believe we haven't seen a huge white sea bass bite so far here this year. You like to see those water temps get up there in the high 50s, and every step over 60 their metabolism, the white sea bass that is, start to really work, and you'll start to see better and better catches. Hopefully that's going to happen. The Blackfish had 5 white sea bass fishing out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach. I've talked to some yacht guys who tell me to keep my trap shut in terms of who and where, but I've talked to them and seen some fish up to 60 pounds taken here at some of our local islands. So there is sea bass around, and at some point they are going to settle in and bite. All right, back to our bluefin. Once again, hopefully guys will be able to get on that really, really soon. I was talking to Victor down there at Blackfin Sport Fishing in Ensenada, and we were talking albacore. He said they're seeing a little bit more anchovy down there in that neck of the woods also. Now, let's get this straight. Albacore will even bite a live squid. I've seen them do it. They'll bite sardine. You know, you got a tank of sardine, you can get a wide open bite. The reason we mention anchovy is because anchovy prefer cooler water like the albacore. And when you get an influx of anchovy, you start to see it everywhere, it is because their environment is to their liking. Cooler water, albies, cooler water. 63.5 degree water, and you're rocking. I can remember being a kid in the wheelhouse of the Searcher with Frank LaPreste running the boat, and him looking down, and they had a digital gauge, and it said 63.5, and a white term picked right off the bow of the Searcher, and Frank said, those birds do not lie, and I like this water temperature. And soon thereafter, somebody was in the stern yelling hook up, and we went into one for about 40 or 50 albies. So once again, this cooler water bodes well for an albacore season. We'll have to see where it leads us. We'll be watching it very, very closely. Coronado Islands, we're taking a look at that. Seen schools of yellowtail there. Most of them have been small, loading everybody up on rockfish. If you don't catch the yellows, and we have not been catching them for some time now, a month ago, man, it looked like that was going to just go off. In fact, you had a call in that. We had huge hits of yellowtail. Then the Coronado Islands, we're catching, 18, 15, 20 yellows, a little better than that, sometimes 15 to 25 pound grade. Forkies, beautiful grade of fish. But man, since that time, it's been very tough. Thank goodness the rockfish are biting so well, and they're plentiful, big, delicious. You've got that as a backup. However, if you're going to the Coronado Islands, you definitely want to bring some yo-yo iron. You never know when that light switch is going to go on, when we'll get an influx of that fish in there. I think it's all this cool water. Although we catch yellows in the cooler water, the warmer it gets, the closer we get to 60, the better off I think we're going to be on those species also. All right, looking around the islands here like Catalina, Nicholas, Santa Barbara, Clemente, the Pride had just a dream trip. I mean, if you're just looking at it from the amount of fish that anglers brought home, you can't beat it. They had great rock fishing, big sheepshead and whitefish and lings, you name it. The Pride just really had a great trip out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. But then they went into the shallows and tried to make it happen on the halibut, and they succeeded. Nice halibut fishing going on. Only 11 guys, 12 nice flatties, really great fishing. Hopefully it's going to settle. They saw a sign of yellowtail, but it didn't want to bite. So hopefully we'll see the yellows and the sea bass get into the picture. But for right now, I don't know how you can beat going home with all of that delicious, great eating fish. It's just as good as it gets. And as we look around, we're seeing more of that everywhere. On the Toronado, KJ was out there with Mag swim baits. He's got a new scent that you can put on your lures. Well, he put it on a green towel. Yeah, he cut off a piece of a green towel, dropped it down, and was catching rockfish and whitefish and all kinds of stuff full speed. So that ought to tell you something about KJ's new scent, man. That seems to work really, really well. Tornado with a great trip, lots of bottom stuff. The Pursuit fishing at Catalina Island. In fact, they're making their way across as we speak right now, and they've been fishing the deep water and doing really well on the quality big rockfish. And then they have been fishing shallow water rockfish. When they get everybody about limited out, they'll go in and see if they can't catch a sea bass or a halibut or a calico bass or something like that. Pursuit, 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. Gus says, and remember we had Mark on here the other day, or Mark commenting that Gus works his tail off on that boat. Bring some shrimp if you want to catch the goats, because the sheepshead have been biting that really, really well. And as I say, all the landings are in on this rockfish now. It becomes redundant for me to mention everybody, but I'm just mentioning a few guys. Island Spirit, Cody Rogers, Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing. They are out all week long if they can get enough people. Limits of bottom fish, tremendous fishing going on for them also, as they have been really putting the wood to it. Stardust, big reds, giant whitefish up there in Santa Barbara. Coral Sea limiting out. Fantastic fishing. I don't know how it can get any better than that. And there was something fishy going on here on the beach yesterday. If you remember, I mentioned there were some guys down there surf fishing, and they're starting to catch those spot fin. Now, remember I had the grunion video for you just the other night? Sandworms feed on grunion eggs, so there's plenty of feed here. You can dig up those sandworms, and man, it makes a huge difference to your success, especially when you're fishing spot fin. When I say something's fishy, there's a new product out that eliminates unwanted odors. And Brandon, the guy, he was just on our podcast. I hope you caught him. Great guy. He caught his first spot fin croaker down here, being tutored by the guy who just bought Worm King, who goes by the name of Fish, another good friend of mine. So both those guys were down here and caught a spot fin croaker. Nice one, as you can see. So that is all good stuff. It looks like the beaches are starting to come to life. All right, busy week this week. Don't forget, Tuesday night, Jeff Jessup, live, the captain of the Apollo and the Freedom and the Monte Carlo and the Amigo. And he's a big part of 22nd Street Landing, a fountain of information and knowledge. You can ask him questions all night long. Then on Wednesday night, you can ask Sam De La Torre any question you want, because we'll be doing another episode live from Sam's Tackle Store, Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. Then Thursday's an exciting night because the great Danny Cadota is going to be doing his live show at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club in Redondo Beach, and you are invited. It's a live show. You can be part of the studio audience, and then it's followed up by a great speech by Bill Wilkerson, the owner-operator of the Malahini and the Horizon. Bill's going to be there. We'll live stream the whole thing Thursday for you all, so you won't miss it if you prefer to sit at home, eat popcorn, and watch this show. We'll have it all for you. But in case you'd like to be there, all you got to do is drop a text to Chuck, and he'll tell you how to get there and so much more. You can also buy raffle tickets from Chuck, our big raffle, Santa Ana River Lakes this Saturday. We're going to draw it at 2 o'clock, a Penn Fathom reel. How can you beat it? And a couple of beautiful custom rods. They are absolutely gorgeous trout rods, and tickets are $10. If you buy multiple tickets, you get a discount. You take your ticket. If you go to the lake, buy your entrance into Santa Ana River Lakes on Saturday, show your ticket, you get lunch, and we are wide open to kids coming over and learning knot tying and trout fishing. It's going to be a really special day. Chuck's number is 310-918-1448. All right, my friends, I know I'm out here early. That's because I'm going to go over to Santa Ana River Lakes right now and see if I can't catch a trout, and also put together a little instructional video for you on trout fishing. Perfect segue into our Saturday event with the guys from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club and Friedman Adventures and Santa Ana River Lakes all coming together this Saturday. It should be a lot of fun. All right, kind of like, no, not really. It's a little lighter out here now. I guess I waited long enough where maybe you can actually see me. Have a great day. It's always good to spend time with you. Can you believe 51-degree water at the Long Beach buoy? That is chilly for SoCal. And hopefully it bodes well for a lot of good things to come. All right, my friends, take care. Have a great morning. And I hope to see you this Saturday at Santa Ana River Lakes, or somewhere in between, like Thursday night at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Have a great morning. One more sip. I'll let this roll into just a small fraction of some of the things we just sent down to Mexico with the help of Diego Nuno, deckhand on the Royal Star. All of that is going to Cedros, and we are excited about it and grateful to you for all of your help. Take care, my friends.